The Meade School District announced plans to close their alternative school. For some families, that school's the only reason they moved into the district in the first place.
I am terrified to put her back into the main high school, to be honest with you. I don't know what that's going to do to her.
Spokane police are investigating a major car crash that shut down part of a busy Spokane road today, and they're still searching for someone who hobbled away from the scene.
Another beautiful day here in the inland Northwest, tracking even warmer weather on Friday and 80s for Mother's Day weekend. All the details for you coming up next.
Hi everyone, it's good to have you with us. I'm Jane McCarthy.
Welcome everyone, I'm Mark Hanrahan. Parents in the Meade School District say they are frustrated after learning the Meade Alternative School is closing.
The district announced plans to close the school as they face a $12 million deficit. That has parents scrambling to figure out where their child will go to school next year.
KREM 2's Alexa Block spoke with two parents who say the alternative school changed the course of their children's education and life.
The Meade School District announced it would be closing its alternative school, and I had a chance to speak with a parent of one of these students, and she says that she's concerned. She's devastated that they're closing the school, and she doesn't know what is next for her son.
He hated school. It was a fight every single day.
Many mothers can relate to Heather Hewlett. Her son struggled in high school.
He gets distracted easily. He doesn't follow class, follow along with the class. He's always behind. He's embarrassed to ask questions.
During his sophomore year, he transferred to the Meade Alternative School. It offers a community-based, non-traditional learning environment for students who cannot attend traditional high schools. Hewlett says her son, now a junior, is on track to graduate.
So when he went to the Meade Alternative program, they said, no question's a dumb question. And so he's asking questions and not feeling like everyone's making fun of him.
Tracy Marbach says her sophomore daughter also had a tough time in high school. She suffers from extreme anxiety and migraines.
Walking into the main high school was an extremely terrifying experience for her. And just knowing that your child is miserable and there's nothing that you can do. You try to do everything you can, but there's nothing, everything you do is just fruitless.
Marbach enrolled her daughter into the alternative school and saw a change almost immediately.
The little girl that I had is back again. She's functioning. She's not having the amount of anxiety that she was having.
Marbach fears her daughter's progress will stop now that the alternative school is set to close its doors.
I was angry, I was frustrated. It's like, I don't know what her next step is going to be. I am terrified to put her back into the main high school, to be honest with you. I don't know what that's going to do to her.
At this point, these parents don't know where their kids will end up and what options they'll have.
Well, it's frustrating for me. I pay a lot in taxes, and we're always yes for the kids, yes for the kids. Well, had I known it was yes for only certain kids, I think that's a disservice.
I had a chance to speak with a representative from the school district, and I was told that right now they can't answer too many questions about what's next and where these kids will go next year. Alexa Block, KREM 2 News.
Hundreds of Providence nurses rallied outside of Sacred Heart today. They are in contract negotiations with the hospital right now. They say they're concerned about staffing and patient care.
These are nurses and nurses' families, and they want the fair contract for their nurses and their families. We want to be able to provide the best care for Spokane.
Providence Healthcare sent us a statement about the rally today. They say they share the same goals as nurses, and that is providing the best possible care for patients. A nasty head-on crash down the Freya and Green Street Bridge shut down that bridge for most of the day today. A passenger in the car at fault hobbled away and never returned to the scene, and now police are trying to track that person down.
KREM 2's Amanda Rowley shares what charges the driver could be facing and why police want to talk with that passenger.
Traffic is now back to normal here on the Green Street Bridge. It was closed for several hours today after an early morning crash. Spokane police say they are now still looking for the passenger of the at-fault vehicle. They say that individual is not currently a suspect, but they would like to get in touch with that person, one, to make sure they're okay, but also to find out more information about the crash.
We looked around the area, we couldn't find them. And so from a medical standpoint, that's our primary care. Criminally, they're not required as a passenger there to stay. They at this point are not a suspect unless there were other crimes that we aren't aware of at this time, but they are still a witness to a crime. So we want to speak with them and find out if they have anything to add to that investigation.
Spokane police say just before 6 this morning, a car driving northbound on the Green Street Bridge failed to navigate a turn on the bridge, jumped the concrete divider, and crashed into another car in oncoming traffic. Sergeant Terry Pruniger says speed was a factor in this head-on collision.
People that have been through that part of town know that that concrete barrier is 8 to 10 inches high and a couple feet wide. It would take something to get that car over that barrier.
Initial reports from Spokane police at the scene said drugs may have also contributed to the crash. Sergeant Pruniger says investigators now plan to file charges against the driver of the car that jumped the divider for vehicle assault.
If that had happened at 8 o'clock, it could have been worse.
The victim in the southbound car suffered non-life-threatening injuries and was taken to the hospital. As for the driver police say caused the crash, they suffered life-threatening injuries. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Well, there was a lot going on at Fairchild Air Force Base today.
Well, fortunately, this is just a simulation. First responders ran through some emergency scenarios to be more prepared in case of a real emergency. The Airway Heights Fire Chief says it's important to coordinate with Fairchild in case a situation like this actually happens.
We have to be prepared. If we have a lot of aircraft in our area, if something goes down, we need to have some experience. You don't want to learn the very first time showing up on scene.
Crews participate in these kind of mock trainings every year. The emergency circumstances change in the trainings to keep first responders alert and ready for just about anything.
Well, to weather, we have a chance of hitting 80 degrees before the end of the work week.
Unreal. Tom Sherry in the Weather Center tracking this very real forecast. Hi, Tom.
Absolutely. What a great looking evening we have right now. We're at a very comfortable 70 degrees out at Spokane International Airport. We're at 71 here at the here on the South Hill in the weather studio. Blue sky and sunshine. That's what we're enjoying. Here's a look at your forecast over the next 12 hours. We'll see partly cloudy skies in the overnight period. Temperatures dipping down into the lower 40s. Will be dry. Look for a daytime high Friday of 79 degrees. That is pretty special when you consider the average high this time of year, about 64 degrees. We take a look at the trend over the next 7 days. Your temperature trend, again, showing much warmer weather, as you can see, climbing into the 80s. 84 expected on Mother's Day Sunday, and then cooler weather begins to develop next Wednesday and Thursday, and that most likely will bring some rain showers. I'll tell you more about that, and an extended look at your 10-day outlook. That's all coming up.
Sounds good, Tom. Thank you very much. Spokane Falls Boulevard is set to reopen next week after 2 years of construction. The city was doing construction on a huge underground storage tank for stormwater. The city will lift the traffic restrictions on Tuesday.
Well, this next story may kind of sound like a scene out of a movie. Police say a driver who appeared to be on drugs hit a car in the Wenatchee Valley Mall parking lot, and then the driver just crashed through the mall entrance, drove around for a bit, before finally turning around and driving back out.
So this video is taken by someone shopping at the mall. Take a look at that. Other shoppers say they thought it was a display car until they realized it wasn't stopping. Police were able to stop the driver before he got out of the mall parking lot. Fortunately, no one was hurt.